really look at live split during races at all.
I would
To
say
the
that
point
I'm,
of...
like,
Go ahead.
fell all the way down the tower. That wasn't good. But,
Yeah.
I do have live split open, and I am, like, periodically looking at it, so... I would notice if I, like, randomly got a best segment by way too much.
Yeah, I entirely hide it. I generally just put live split away to begin with, but the the thing that I was going to talk about is one of the Wolfdash races last time, Wolfdash 4, I missed ending like the final segment because I had skipped and missed out on a split like an hour prior. So I just had split Zelda instead of the final split, which was really funny. Anyway, I am ascending Snow Peak. Now, we're supposed to guess what the runner's favorite ice cream flavor is while ascending Snow Peak. If I had to guess my own favorite ice cream flavor right now, I don't think that I could. My brain's saying Rocky Road.
Is there just too much variety of ice cream flavors to choose from?
Honestly, yes. I kind of just like ice cream.
This is very fair, yeah. Ice cream is just kind of good.
And it is absolutely the weather for it, being July 1st. Or I guess, generally, it's the weather for it. It's like 60 degrees and raining here.
I'd say it's the weather for it here. Also, link that is the lantern, that is not the claw shot.
But welcome back, everybody. We are still commentating a Twilight Princess Any Percent race. Hi, I am and I'm here with Gymnast86, and we are commentating a race between Glubbers and Gymnast86, and we are not the same people.
We are not. You can tell by our distinctly different names.
Yes. And pay no mind to our profile pictures on Discord matching our Twitch profile pictures.
So, Glubbers, what is your favorite soup ingredient?
My favorite soup ingredient? Ooh. I do like the Orden pumpkin. That said, I don't think I've ever actually had a pumpkin soup, so I can't say that in all honesty, you know?
That's fair. I think I would probably be a fan of the cheese, personally.
The cheese?
The Orden cheese.
The Orden cheese. Ooh. If we're talking, like, general soups, I would say that my favorite thing to put in a soup is probably, like, chicken soups are fantastic. They just generally have a lot of... Because they tend to be, like... So, I guess my favorite part of it is just the enabler for the rest of it, because, you know, chicken soups tend to be lighter, usually a bit creamier, and they just are all around better, in my opinion, to what I would call more like red soups, where they're kind of brothy, which isn't bad, don't get me wrong. I like a good soup. But I really do just prefer when it's like on a creamier side, and you know, you can add in like olives or mushrooms or something. Big fan of that. What about you, Jim? What's your favorite soup? I see you in Snow Peak now.
I don't really eat/drink soup, so I don't think I have a favorite one.
I see. Does it count as eating or drinking the soup? At what point does it become drinking? I know that drinking the broth at the end is a thing.
Yeah,
there's gotta be a ratio of solid to liquid that classifies as drinking more than eating.
I mean, you would say that you were eating something like Jello or something like pudding, so...
Yeah. And that does roughly have... Is it the fact that the fluid does not maintain its structure on its own that creates a drink? Because that is true for soup. Related to the game here, I'm skipping around a Midna trigger, and I failed it.
Ow. Yeah, also related to the game, to get to Snow Peak early, we did a thing called map glitch.
Yes.
So that we could run through the blizzard without voiding out and getting sent back to the start. That's also why we have to howl at this howling stone I'm howling at, because we need to reload the area for the loading zone in the cave to come back. And thankfully, the loading sequence with the howling stone does not get broken by doing map glitch, because it's not a loading zone.
It is an event trigger, so we can just return it like that, and that disables the map glitch. Alright, that was interesting. I'm going to attempt to do a displacement clip myself here. Nice.
Very nice displacing.
That is probably my more favorite of the displacement clips in the run. I just find it satisfying to do specifically the Snow Peak one. It's very fun. I do see someone a bit confused by the explanation of map glitch. So map glitch disables load triggers, and because the Howling Stone is not a load trigger, it loads a separate area, which disables map glitch, so then by returning to that same area, load triggers are re-enabled because you went back in a pseudo-normal manner. Actually, just a normal manner. Jim, are you ready to go down a mountain?
I'm always ready to go down a mountain.
Nice. So Jim will be going down a mountain that I went down. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, I'm also ready to bonk into a tree unnecessarily.
Oh, well, I bonked into a door, so we're even. So you'll notice that Jim isn't actually able to see very well, and you may have also noticed that that was true for me as well. Now, both of those are because we skipped the messenger fight, the Shadow Beast fight, at the top of Snow Peak Mountain. If you clear that fight, that's the flag to clear the fog from Snow Peak Mountain. So Jim is in a whiteout, attempting to navigate through. It's a consistent pattern for how you get through everything. You can do it the same every time. But if you get slightly off path, it becomes pretty spooky to get through.
Yeah, can you imagine if the path was random?
Oh my god.
We probably just wouldn't do the trick then, but...
Yeah, it saves like 15 seconds. I have some AD brain there. I just warped with Z.
Ah. Yeah, you mean warped by talking to Midna?
Yes.
That makes sense, because the L Dungeons route does not get map warping, where you can just press Z on the map screen to bring up the portals.
True. I believe that you have it backwards. I am the commentator for this race. Glubbers is the one racing. Was that the order that we did it in?
Yeah, that sounds
I
right.
don't remember. Sure.
And despite my Discord username, I am not gymnast86, I am Jimothy Napster. Hashtag please go faster.
You can't have come up with that on the spot. Where is that
I did
from?
not know. I don't know where that's from. Oops.
I haven't
did
heard
not
that
do this trick properly.
It's a good thing I was just climbing a ladder. All I was doing was holding up. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so we also have to go get the ball and chain purely so that we can defeat Zant. The ball and chain is not required for anything else. It's just to hit Zant's feet twice. Because we don't like
Yeah.
Zant's feet.
Xant's little toesies need an ouchie, and we will administer it post-haste. That is the target of a speedrun, I suppose. Because as much as this is Twilight Princess any percent, which is defeat Ganon RTA, because of how this game currently works, and there is no early Hyrule Castle, it is also defeat Zant RTA.
Yep.
Plus ending blow, I guess. But that said, that is... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, we also picked up, or at least I... Where... Oh my goodness. Where did the bubble go? Why am I having issues with this bubble not appearing?
Oh no.
That's not the worst thing in the world, but it's very annoying, because now I have to get rupees from somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know of a good answer for that rupee except for the rando chest in Lake Hylia, but that's a very slow chest.
Clearly I should have just played on French, like a real speedrunner.
I haven't seen anyone do that with the boomerang before. I like that. That was cool.
Oh yeah, it's just how you skip the text.
Huh, that's very, very cool.
Let's see, so I still need 150 rupees, roughly.
Yeah, so you'll get 10 in Arbiter's Grounds readily.
Yeah, I can... There's a red rupee in Arbiter's. There's the 2 reds that I can get on fire.
Yes. There's also a 50 outside of AG. That would be a slowish one, but that's a lantern chest.
Yeah, that's a lantern chest, but it is kind of slow. Yeah, I think the issue was that for some reason the ball and chain hit the armor in the back room like twice on the same hit somehow. So it the bubble did not get a chance to spawn because I think the bubble can only spawn while the armor is in the destroyed state.
Oh goodness.
Oh.
Okay, we're good. Fire does also have yellow rupees, that's correct.
Yeah, I know there are some other rupees around.
So how many rupees are we at? You're going to get this red here, that'll put you at 174. There's a 20 accessible in AG, and you'll get that one again, so it's 60 more. You'd be at 214. Are you planning to get the purple outside of AG?
Yeah, I really don't know. The options are not great.
Oh, I was wondering if that would get the yellow. Because that's where the yellow is one of them's in that boat.
Yeah. Even though it's really slow, I might just do the orange in the chest.
Yeah, that only loses like 40 seconds, where you're going to lose close to that with just spawning a purple.
This is what we call a hashtag Twilight Princess moment.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so then in that case, if you were to... Yeah, getting the orange, because the last thing that you'll get is a fire red, you can pick up that Pokemon Fire Red. You can
I can pick up the Charizard.
Yeah. Pick up your
I can pick up
Charizard.
Charizard and have Charizard go fetch rupees for me. There we go. Now we figured it out.
Shoutouts to Charizard. But yeah, this is also something that does just happen in these. But like I had said before, that is part of doing races, showcases, etc., is knowing how to consistently back up anything that happens, and that is inclusive to random rupees deciding to do whatever this is.
And Lovers is going to be doing Pogate skip after this cutscene. The new method of Pogate skip is much nicer than the previous one. The new method is just a displacement clip followed by picking up a blue rupee, which Glubbers can mash for because he's playing on English.
Yes. I can mash and while holding upright to do a backflip too. I believe it's upright.
That was an interesting setup.
I am...
Oh.
Okay.
That's interesting. What happened there?
That was as though I wasn't pressing target. So maybe I wasn't fully pressing target.
Oh, did the claw shot like move to the side or something?
No, Link faces the camera, right? And it didn't turn my camera, or it did turn my camera around. Or did not turn my camera around.
Interesting. Yeah, the displacement clip setups are like they require very precise positioning, so like very small things can throw off your positioning and just make the trick not work.
Mm-hmm. Well, here we go again. I see Guy asking, what is my setup? This is a setup that was considered fast for a day during the development of this method. Okay.
Very nice. Yeah, when this trick was discovered, there were a lot of different methods that were figured out to like get the right positioning to be able to do the trick. Just because there are actually quite a lot of different movement options you have at your disposal in this game for doing setups. I think I counted the total to be 84 different possible movement options.
Ah.
That is also if you include things like using hidden skills and whatnot, which we do not have, but
that's still
yeah,
really cool.
There's a lot of options because like there's a lot of movement options in general, but then you also have doing every movement option with the iron boots on, which changes how far you move and essentially gives you a ×2 multiplier for the number of different ways that you can
slashes.
Yeah, abridged slashes, different slash combos.
All right. Now time to kill some bugs. We are in the Sand Twilight.
Nice step clip.
Yeah, I failed the first one because I had too shallow of an angle, but that step clip is a very fun trick in my mind. I just generally enjoy it. This is a reminder, Jim, to not have too shallow of an angle when doing the step clip.
Yes, this is correct. Alright, so Glubbers is going to be going for... Oh no, you're not going to do Death Sword Skip. Very fair. I'm not going to do it either.
No. I have not done Death Sword Skip since we started doing Pogate Skip, because it makes you do the damage down into bomb boost. Prior to this current method of Pogate Skip, it was because I didn't want to worry about crit health while doing all of that shenanigans, and now it's because the setup that I do for Pogate Skip does not work on
Yeah,
health.
that's fair.
So I just need to learn one that does.
Yeah, for properly getting the full time save that you can get with Death Sword Skip, you do, because you don't want to save warp at this point, since if you save warp, you would have to do the Pogate clip all over again. You have to death warp out of the room if you don't defeat Death Sword. Which requires, you know, proper damage routing to do quickly.
I just felt like I hadn't split properly, so I went to check, and I didn't, but I also didn't split properly at some other point and got a 4-minute goal. Dean with the question, has anybody timed doing PGC a second time? I believe it was something like 20 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, I think it might be faster for TAS, potentially. Because TAS can just do it setup-less. But with having to do a setup, it's not worth it for RTA runs.
Okay, now my live split is accurate again, I think. Although it thinks my sum of best is a 227.
Congratulations on having a faster sum of best than the current any percent TAS.
Oh, I didn't split on Boomerang.
Ah.
Hold on. There we go. Okay. I have fixed my life split.
So now both of us are coming up on Stallard Skip, which is a one of the other like really difficult tricks in the run to do well.
Yeah,
So
I've
hopefully
personally
it
had a little bit
goes well for
difficulty.
both of us.
Yeah. It's one of the last heavily gating tricks. Oh, Jim, how is your bomb count currently?
It should be fine, because I only used 2 bombs for more fuel the second time. So I ended with 6. Thankfully, we don't need a bomb for Stallard Skip anymore.
No.
We used to. But yeah, basically, Stallard Skip is going to involve doing, first, what's known as a clawshot actor displacement, where we're going to clawshot a Stall Trooper, and we're going to attempt to pull the Stall Trooper to us instead of the Stall Trooper pulling us to it, which is what normally happens. But if you fall while claw-shotting something that normally pulls Link to it, Link will instead pull the actor towards him. So we're going to do that to attempt to get the Stal Trooper into a specific spot on the end gate, and then using a displacement clip, we're going to claw-shot through the wall we're going to claw-shot the Stal Trooper to put us through the wall, is the final goal here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at least for me, the hardest part about this setup is doing the clawshot actor displacement itself, because you only have 2 frames to hit left and target, which for some reason I find very difficult to do after letting go of the clawshot, so that's at least my sticking point for this.
Alright, Stallard decided to kill Joseph the second time. I am going to just fight Stallard. I think that Stallard's skip is not in the cards for me right now, which I was expecting.
Ah, that's fair. So we do need very precise positioning for this. I'm also going to wait another cycle. Okay, this is the right position, and now I just have to do the displacement clip. Oh, darn it. Right, well, something was wrong with my positioning there, so I did not quite get it. Let's try this again. Oh, no? Am I too late? Let's see. Go all the way down. Back hop.
So I know that it's not the most helpful mid-run, but something that you can do to debug whether or not it's working. If it's too late, then that means that nothing actually would have gone wrong. You can check in post by like looking at the video to see if you clip for a frame. Also nicely done.
That is true, yeah. Also, yeah, that wasn't too bad. I got the part that I usually struggle with, which is the clawshot actor displacement first try. And now, Glubbers is going to be attempting to do the fast Stallard cycle, where he knocks down Stallard immediately after getting on the rail by timing getting on the rail at a specific point when Stallard is trying to attack. And then doing that saves about 25 seconds over having to wait for Stallard to become vulnerable again during his attacks for you to hit him down.
Mm-hmm. And yes, just like that, we are roughly synced.
I failed to do the the drop the bomb strategy on one of the shadow beasts outside, because I've only seen people do it, and I've only attempted to do it in runs, so I'm not actually sure where to put the bomb and dropping it.
Yeah, I don't have a good answer for that one.
Fix my displacement clip setup. My displacement clip setup is perfectly fine.
Oh,
I still have to get the orange one.
You can't
like
get
Hylia.
the orange one. You have 204 rupees.
Oh, that is correct, yes. I forgot about that. Alright, I know what I have to do. It is very silly.
Is it what I think it is?
I have to go deposit rupees.
Fair enough. Can he donate? Yes, he can.
Wait, no. Farron is still in Twilight.
Oh, I thought you were talking about, like, Charlo.
Oh, yeah, I can do Charlo. I was thinking Farron rupees, because... Okay, yeah, Charlo's fine.
What orange? There is an orange in Lake Hylia under the water.
And, right, there's a mailman trigger here.
Now it won't be later, right? Guy, he would need to do that like 4 times.
Well, I know that you can technically get 60 rupees around fire. I don't know where they all are, though, is my issue, at least. I just know where the red and the yellow are. Which I guess probably would have been faster.
That is correct. That would have probably been faster.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to get the Lake Hylia orange. I'm going to get the Hyrule Amphitheater orange.
Sure! That's a cool orange to get.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the fact that you put rupees back if you don't have like if you have too much space in the wallet for them. So this is a very unfortunate time loss for me. And this was all because that orange and Snow Peak didn't spawn.
Yeah, that was a rather unfortunate event there. Did you get a red rupee during Arbiter's Grounds? Is that why you were at 204?
I did, yeah, because I was like, well, I'll get this one instead of fire, but this turned out to be my downfall.
Yeah, that if you had not gotten that rupee, you could have gotten the red from fire instead. That's very unfortunate. Hey, it's still anybody's race. I'm only just now entering city, so... we can call this race a series of unfortunate events. Now, Jim, do you think that Argarok is a dragon or a wyvern?
I forget what the difference is, so I do not know.
Ah, fair enough. This is a trick question for anybody that thinks that Argarok is a dragon. Argarok has 2 legs and wings and claws, and is therefore a wyvern. Now, the real question is, are wyverns dragons? I don't know, and based on Jim not knowing the difference, I don't think he's the right person to have this conversation with.
But yeah, I know that there's one of them has like the wings separate from the arms, and one of them has the wings as part of the arms, if I remember correctly.
I believe that's a wyvern and a drake.
Oh. So yes, I'm not the correct person to have this conversation with.
It's Charizard. Or perhaps it's Blastoise. Alright, please not one more unfortunate thing. Okay. I had thought that I had stood back too far and turned on the fan. That would have been a continuation of the unfortunate events.
Anyway, City in the Sky is a dungeon we have to speedrun through.
Yes, and it's actually changed quite a bit since the discovery of displacement clipping. Thanks to City Gate Skip. Now all 3 versions of the game go through the same gate in a different way. Actually, you third-person clawshot clip through it in HD, correct?
Yeah, HD does the third-person claw shot clip because it's faster in most.
The GameCube version of the game gets to do a ridiculous trick called City Gate Skip, or sorry, City Gate Clip, CGC, which I will be coming up on here in a moment, and Jim will not be too far behind. We are about to pass each other here in a moment, actually.
Didn't quite get the opportunity to high-five, but we came close.
True.
Clever's also just did a cutscene skip right there so that we don't have to watch the cutscene of Argarok breaking the bridge, which also gives us a more helpful save warp location because it keeps our save warp location at the small key chest, which is faster than if it was back at the beginning of the dungeon once we do, or once we get the double claw shots.
Mm-hmm. Which will be pretty shortly here. And Jim will do the same as I just did. Canceling the spinner a little bit early is effectively just, and I'm going to do the same thing here on this one, it gives you control a little bit early, so you can just thread a little bit of movement as the cutscene plays for moving slightly towards your target there. Just like that. Jim had just done that on the West Wing, and will do it in a moment to the East Wing. Am I remembering directions correctly? I am!
Yes. So Glover's is also going through this room on the left. When I get there, I'll be going through the right, because I have trouble not falling down trying to go through the left.
It is very awkward to do from the left. So that is very fair.
Yeah, Glover's just doing the specific setup now. And then this one has a weird caveat where you do have to do a jump attack after doing the clip within a 3-frame window. Not directly after the clip starts, but just within a 3-frame window sometime after you clip. So that you can jump attack back up onto the floor, otherwise you fall down and void, which does not help.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And doing probably one of the nicer displacement clips, clipping through not playing the weird sequence of cutscene that would play there normally. Just skipping that is very nice. When we don't chop off gameplay, but we do chop off cutscene, that's one of the best ways to like improve a speedrun in my mind. It's because you just don't, you're not removing anything that anybody cared about that much, right? You're just removing the downtime. Now, Jim lining up in a slightly different spot. There's multiple spots on this door that work. Just whichever runners prefer whatever cues they prefer. Nicely done, Jim.
Also, Glover skipped a mini-boss.
I did skip a mini-boss. Jim's about to skip the same mini-boss, but he's going to do a cool displacement clip first. So, shoutouts to Iwabi for the setup for the mini-boss skip.
Yep.
You do some vertical angle buffering to get a precise angle and end up with the exact spot, which used to be done freehand. It's not that we didn't do the trick, though it is very precise, so having that vertical angle buffer, while slightly slower than some examples of the setup list method, it is faster than most average setups.
For what happened there, I like pressed B at the wrong time, so I have to do this trick again. I think I accidentally pressed B when I meant to press A there, was what happened. Also, Glubber's doing a very interesting trick here called Kai Clip, where you can essentially shoot the claw shot through the grating there to get up to where the boss key is, because there's just a slight hole in the collision on that ceiling there, and you can just so happen to aim the claw shot through it to grab the claw shot or grating that's above in that room.
Mm-hmm. And I thought that I had done it incorrectly for a moment because of the Helmosaurus there. And no, it was just fine. I don't know if it's the Helmosaurus getting in the way there, or maybe I had a slightly off position. But that was certainly interesting while attempting to do that. Jim will hopefully do it much more cleanly than I did, not being interrupted by some rude ne'er-do-well. And Jim, do you do the normal setup for this, or do you use your own setup still?
No, I do the one where we jump back on here and then free aim up. I think that might be too far away.
That did look pretty far away.
Well, I did not mean to jump down like that. Now, going for the trick has lost more time than it would have saved, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it only saves something like 12 seconds.
That looks much better.
Ah, the pot warped.
The pot did warp, this is true.
And I'm entering the boss fight here, or rather touching the boss door. If you aim at the lowest point on the door that you can actually grab the door and drop from there, Link for some reason doesn't turn around. So it's just a little minor time save that you get just off of aiming in a specific spot.
And Glover's going for the rob shot here.
Nice.
Very nice.
And Jim doing my favorite LJA in the run, by far. I love
it is a very
fancy
cool double
LJAs.
LJA. Yeah.
That was actually the first Twilight Princess tech that I ever saw during Fino's AGDQ 2014 run, and I thought it was the coolest thing.
And now Glover's is going to wait around a lot.
Yes, this is a longer quote question mark cutscene than the death cutscene during the phase transition here. I just have to grab on right here, and then I could theoretically leave for like a minute and 3 seconds, I believe. Instead, I'm going to commentate what Jim's doing. Jim's doing the fan tower, which is one of the more fun sequences, but also a very difficult sequence. Because you need to, ideally, Jim did a fantastic job there. You need to get to the different fans on the correct cycle, and the actual cycle to hit is relatively tight, especially for some other categories where you use a bomb arrow, but in any percent, it's still very tight, and Jim did that masterfully.
Glover's is still waiting.
And I'm still waiting. And Jim will attempt rob shot. Nicely done.
That's pretty good.
And I'm still waiting.
Glover's is still waiting. But don't worry. I am now also waiting.
Oh, well, I'm no longer
Glover's
waiting.
has control again.
We're just passing back and forth who's waiting and who has control. This is not a planned part of the programming. Or maybe it was.
Yeah, I mean, as we all know, this was pre-recorded in advance. We just knew exactly what people in chat were going to say.
Exactly. The next message someone in chat says will be, "Whoa, he guessed what I was going to say."
Oh my goodness, Glubbers, you're amazing.
Whoa!
I can't
One of
believe
the
you knew
runners!
that.
The runner taking the time away from their race just to do that.
It's okay, I was waiting.
Ah, true. And so, in the second phase of Argarok, there is two, technically, methods by which you do these things that we call flame cancels, though they're really one and the same. So, as you'll see me doing here, I'm kind of clock-dotting over for the final flame cancel, but all I'm really doing is delaying what the strat is for the first two by long enough so that when Argarok turns around, I cancel the second bout so that I can grab the back and finish the fight. Now, what Jim's going to do here is going to be the standard method, which is what the first two do, where he's going to tug on the chain a little bit, or just drop for a little bit too, then claw shot 3 times over, and aim and grab the back for Argarok. As you can tell, the methods were very, very similar. The only thing that the third one does differently is, again, delays when you do that tug on the chain down low enough to cancel Argarok's flame, until Argarok has already turned around once, as the third phase of or the third attack in phase 2 of Argarok does have him turn around before actually letting you latch on. This is a relatively... I use audio for this fight. I feel like a lot of runners use audio for this fight. So letting Jim focus on the audio cues that play while Argarok's going through. Very, very nicely done so far. Argarok is a relatively simple fight, and it always feels bad when you make a minor mistake. Just because it's still, as with most things in this game, not the easiest necessarily. Not the hardest thing in the world. It is one of the friendlier strats, but it is still not the easiest thing in the world. So you'll see now that
it can
Jim...
also be very punishing if you miss it, like a lot of tricks in this game.
Exactly. And you'll see that this time Jim did not wear the boots when claw-shotting up. That is part of that same setup.
And alright.
Nicely done with Argarok.
That's either 2 dragons, drakes, wyverns, or insert other name for what this species could be here.
I believe that's a salamander.
Ah, we figured it out.
Or mayhaps a gecko.
Or a lizard.
Not me checking my live split now to make sure that I didn't mess anything else up. Nope, I am indeed on the correct segment now. GG me. Jim, do you prefer Palace of Twilight, not from a speedrun context, from a general sense, do you prefer it on HD or SD? Because it lacks a lot of the bloom on HD, but I find that that makes it a little bit more bland in my mind.
I mean, I would say at least like visually, I probably would prefer HD more just because of like the slightly higher texture quality.
That is very fair. The textures do look very, very nice on the HD version. The HD version of this game does look very, very good. I don't know. Palace of Twilight, aesthetically, in that sense alone, is probably one of my favorite dungeons in the franchise overall.
Yeah, it is a very good aesthetic. Speedrun,
Very good.
though, also involves waiting.
True. Palace of 7 small keys, everybody. You can count them with me. I just used the first one. Which means that in this race, we will see 14 small keys.
Yeah, Palace of Twilight doesn't really have any skips to it. Other than like a couple of small LJAs that save like a second or two, and just making sure you fight all of the Zant heads and Phantom Zant optimally and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. There are some LJAs that cut out a little bit of time. Some like fight ways to perform the different fights, like you were mentioning, Zant heads, Zant, Shadow Beasts. Everything has. There's a lot of minor details to performing Palace of Twilight quickly. So while it isn't one that has the most skips per se, that doesn't make it easy.
Yeah. It is still very possible to lose a lot of time if something stupid happens. Which is why there's a room that we have in Palace of Twilight, which is just called Stupid Room.
Yeah, shoutouts
because
to
stupid things tend to happen there.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh, did you miss
He's
one of the
one
attacks?
hit. Yes. One.
Yeah, ideally for Phantom Zant, you want to 3-cycle him by doing specific damage on each cycle, but if that gets messed up, he can start just like teleporting around a lot, which can be quite annoying.
Mm-hmm. Which is... the thing that I was more concerned about is every time that I do a Twilight Princess run with commentary present at all is just having to do that part while focusing on the audio while someone's potentially talking. And actually, I prefer when people are talking because it keeps the commentary flow going. But trying to listen in for those cues is not the easiest. I managed to do that correctly, and then I just roll stabbed because I miscounted.
Yeah, usually if I mess up Phantom Zant, it's because I like failed to quick spin.
Yeah, that is what happened, is I failed a quick spin, and my brain assumed that that meant that the way to correct it would be just introduce something with equivalent damage, and that is not the case. So, case in point, there's a lot of little things in Palace of Twilight that, if you don't do exactly, will cause quite a bit of issues. Jim finishing the Phantom Zant much cleaner than I did. So we're both on our way back, though he's at the beginning and I'm at the end of this chain, bringing the West Soul over to the pedestal. The beginning of the East Wing is the stupid room that Jim was mentioning a moment ago. So I will be attempting to progress through Stupid Room and learning exactly how stupid it feels like being today. Let's see how it goes. My past
usually
pretty fine.
Yeah, usually Stupid Room is stupid if the Zant Head decides to spawn in the middle platforms. If the Zant Head decides to spawn at the end, it's usually not particularly stupid. At least in my experience. Yeah, that's an end spawn, so just gotta avoid getting hit, and thankfully Stupid Room was not stupid.
Yes, there is reverse Stupid Room, which I believe I've heard a couple of runners call Smart Room, because it's just not bad. And I kind of like calling it Smart Room, even though it's kind of a really nothing room.
Yeah, Glubbers is currently in the lead by, like, 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Now, this is a game that is still very punishing, so even towards the end, it is still anybody's race.
There is still RNG yet to be seen.
Exactly. While unlikely, Zelda can still sway even this gap.
Yeah, this gap would be pretty rare to see just Zelda sway, but...
It's not. I mean, it has happened. The most time lost to Zelda has been over 2.5 minutes at an 18 cycle Zelda.
Oh yeah, that is pretty bad. And I got the same Stupid Room spawn, so Stupid Room was not stupid for me.
Nice. We love that. I'm being asked how many small keys we're at so far. I have just used the 4th of 7 small keys.
I am using my 3rd. Collectively, we have used 7, which means we're done with Palace of Twilight, right?
Yippee! Please. Mods. Please. Much cleaner that time on the Phantom Zant fight. And Jim doing a good job here of doing this room. This room's a very fun one, and getting the claw shot before the cutscene happens is not the hardest thing in the world, but always very satisfying. It just feels good to do that room well, in my mind.
Yeah. This is also the room that, at least on GameCube, I tend to mess up the most.
Really?
Aside from Stupid Room.
The bonk for good luck. Oh! The bonk for good luck did not give me good luck at all. I blame the Squeebles. While the Squeebles were at peace with Wolf Link, it appears they are not at peace with Human Link.
Also, Flippers and I high-fived as we each went through the door in opposite directions there.
Yes, that's what happened during the Fade to Black. You can't prove otherwise. Excuse you. Stay away from the center of the pedestal.
Yeah, that Shadow Beast really likes to kick the orb off the center there sometimes, which is kind of annoying.
Especially when it stays in the way, because that prevents you from using the claw shot to grab it like you intend to. Also very nice on your own, Phantom Zant.
Thank you.
We have defeated 4 Phantom Zants and used 8 small keys.
Only 6 more small keys to go.
Exactly. Anything could happen. Perhaps even 6 more small keys could be in this dungeon between the 2 of us. Surely not, though.
That would be silly.
Yeah, who would put that many keys across 2 instances of the dungeon?
Let me introduce you to the Gerudo training grounds.
Right. I think I've done GTG casually once. Because I would rather remind myself how to do a weird shot before I go through GTG again.
That's very fair, yeah. Also, yes,
Alright,
as pointed out in chat, a meteor could land on my power plant that I am personally using to power my Wii and make me lose the race.
Yeah. Who doesn't have one of those? Gymnast86, foreman of a power plant. It's his power plant. Thank you to the chatter who has made me laugh.
I mean, this is true. We can't disprove that a meteor is not going to hit us in some form and mess up either of our runs at this point.
That is very true. Something something Mario 64 bit flip.
Oh, yo, true.
See,
is there a bit flip that would actually save time at this point?
I doubt it. What was it, an up warp in Mario 64?
Yeah, Mario's position jumping up. In theory, because a bit flipped. That was not supposed to flip.
A bit flips and changes the Squidna cutscene to watched.
Oh, yeah, I guess that would probably do it.
I imagine that's a bit flip.
Yeah, I do believe that that is just a single flag, so that would be a bit.
It would actually be a little silly if it weren't just one flag, but I also wouldn't put it past this game. Shoutouts to Malomart not being a single flab. Shoutouts to Malomart not being a single flag or flab, apparently. We didn't see it in this race at all, but if you need to go to Malomart, you have to both beat King Bulblin 1 and beat Goron Mines. For some reason. It's a very odd double flag when you think about it, because casually, how would you have beaten Goron Mines without beating King Bulblin 1?
A surprising number of people have actually done this when playing the Twilight Princess PC port, actually.
Huh?
because they're like, oh, well, I got the iron... Oh. Well...
I just took 2 hearts of damage. This is fine. I have the big key.
Yeah, the big key doesn't go back into the chest. Just has to defeat the Zant heads still.
Yes. We do indeed have a race again. There's a thing that
Lovers clearly did this to make the race more interesting.
Yeah, that was intentional. But don't worry, we're still separated by a little bit of time.
What were we talking about beforehand? I got completely distracted by the game over.
Bit flipping, I think.
That sounds correct.
How did I
right.
manage
We were talking about how it's weird that things require you to beat King Bulblin as well as beat
Ah,
Goron Mines.
right. How have people been doing that on the PC port? How does that...
It
Without
is
just doing speedrun tricks.
it is because they use the PC port's built-in warp capabilities to warp back to Kakariko Village after they get Iron Boots, instead of riding back there on Epona. Yeah. And then they beat Goron Mines, and they are unable to buy bombs, and they are confused.
That is a surprising thing to have happen. Also, Jim, I believe that we are more synced than you would expect. I failed the cycle.
Oh, because of... Yeah. Assuming that I hit
no.
early platform here. Alright, yep, I hit the early platform.
Alright. Are you ready
Got
to...
the least optimal Zant head spawn, though.
I also got the least optimal Zant head spawn.
Alright, the past 2 runs I have somehow managed to fall down during this LJA. I'm going to try and not do that this time.
I believe in you. So you target, and then you wait longer than you think you need to. Good job.
Thank you. I have gotten revenge on this trick.
Congrats on revenge. That is the theme of this race.
Yeah, shoutouts to revenge.
Shoutouts to the concept of revenge. Go get it on your enemies.
Thankfully, the Shadow Beasts here tend to drop a good amount of hearts. We don't have to go into the Zant fight with, like, 2 hearts or something.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, Jim, we're holding hands entering Zant.
It would appear to be that way. Yeah, the Zant fight is honestly like the coolest fight in the game, because you get to do a lot of very different things and use most of the items that you've picked up during your journey.
Mm-hmm. It is a very cool fight, both thematically and in terms of the design, for the reasons that you said. I personally like it a lot, because I like the, story elements that are presented by it. Because you can see Zant start out the fight by being very logical. He goes away, tries to shoot you from a distance, and then as time goes on, the answers that he has to try and deal with you get frantic, and they still don't work, followed by violently flailing at you as the final phase.
Yeah, that is true. I never really thought about that, to be honest, but that does make a lot of sense.
I have failed the the early cycle.
I also failed it because I got hit after the jump attack.
Interesting. Oh, and we both got good RNG on when he decided to attack again. So we are still synced.
Now, once again, we are going to have to use water bombs to refill air here, but we can get the first hit in on Phantom Zant before doing that. Just enough time.
Yes, and this is largely because you are capable of doing slightly faster sword slashes. You'll notice that the slightly faster sword slashes that we do are by doing specific inputs for the directionality of the slash. You can speed up your slashes just a little bit, and we are doing that more generally just throughout the fight. But there it enables us to not just drown, which is very nice.
I seem to have done Rocket Link.
I did an L-slide. This is unfortunate.
Yeah, I thought I was swimming for long enough. Just have to die. Like, I just, I did the second water bomb pull, but I threw the water bomb, like, too early. I thought I had waited long enough, but now, kind of thankfully, I can just redo this phase. Dying in the Phantom Zant fight just respawns you in the same phase that you were in.
Yeah, that is a very nice consequence of the way that the Zant fight is mashed up, is that you just begin in the same phase that you died in. So it's very comfortable overall. So even if there is something unfortunate like Rocket Link happening, which is a wild thing to have happen, it ends up being mostly alright. It's still an unfortunate time loss, but you don't have to, like, do the whole fight again or anything.
I successfully did not do Rocket Link this time. That was very silly.
I'm proud of you. Now get your revenge. The last phases of Zant are interesting in... So this Ook phase, you can do just some quick cycles, but you can use the ball and chain. This is where the ball and chain isn't required, but it's nice, is that you can just simply knock him off of the totem pole by holding the ball and chain above your head, as opposed to trying to time something, which would never be fun. And Jim is in the... That's probably my favorite phase of Zant, is the one with the ball and chain. It would be cool if we had a way to not use the ball and chain in it, but, like, thematically, it's a very cool area. I love the music in that part. That's probably my favorite theme just in the game, generally. And the final phase of Zant here is a very normalized thing. So Jim waited for a specific visual cue before starting the first combo, then turned around and almost immediately started the second one. And Zant only takes damage, or necessary damage, from the final hit of the combo. So each part there, you saw Jim charging in a way so that the final hit of the combos was the one that actually hit. And, you know, that just works out fantastically. The final phase of Zant is very, very cool now. And now Jim theoretically does not have a postman trigger here?
Yeah, I think I don't. I'll just run through and see what happens.
Yeah.
Nice
Just
bonk.
as long as you get a bonk for the valid run. And it's time for Squidna.
Oh, nice. It's evening for me because I spent so long getting rupees.
Yeah. The rupee...
Like I said earlier, I'm an evening guy.
True, right. Oh, this is all just to be an evening guy.
Oh, Mailman's still here, apparently.
That would mean that he has different mail for you. What other mail would you get? So, because it was before you went to City, right?
I think it was probably for beating City.
Does Uku send you something?
From Uku. I think so, but I don't entirely remember. I only have one bomb now, which kind of sucks, but oh well.
Do you do the barrier 1 skip?
I do not know.
Ah. Well, that would be where a bomb would be saved over normal, which is an unfortunate reversal of who has how many bombs, because I just do that trick. And because it saves like a second and looks cool.
I can't believe I died in both water boss fights this run.
Yeah, that is it's I've not seen that one before. I've seen both in showcases, but not at the same run, you know. Also, nice job with the bonk.
Glad we both got our validation bonks in.
Same. And good luck on the Squidna cutscene.
Thank you. I will need all the luck that I can get with it.
Oh, wonderful.
Because, yeah, that LJA has... Is it a 3-frame window for doing the jump attack?
I believe you are correct in saying a 3-frame window. But it is relatively normal of a setup to get, though that said, it is something that requires specific notch values, and not, like, very specific notch values. You just can't have your downright notch be rightward biased. It needs to be downward biased. Otherwise, you don't grab the ledge.
Interesting.
And I got the thing.
Nice job making King Bulblin fall.
And King Bulblin 4 is a very difficult fight to one cycle. I don't think very many people attempt the one cycle, if anybody does. It doesn't even save that much time. It's near identical in speed to doing a 2-cycle, a fast 2-cycle, which is the method that I attempted there. Ah.
Yeah, that's also the method that I will be attempting. Because I think doing... Does doing the 1-cycle require you to quick spin in a different direction?
I believe it requires you to... Yes. You do a final quick spin that has to be clockwise.
Right.
Do you naturally counterclockwise quick spin, Jim?
Yeah, I'm a natural counterclockwise quick spinner. That's a good tongue twister.
That is a really good Zelda speedrun related tongue twister. Try saying counterclockwise quick spinner 3 times fast.
Oh, I got wrecked by King Bulblin.
Oh, well, at least you had health.
This is true. Now I have little health, though, but that should be fine. Especially since I'm not going to be using bomb damage on the Dynalphos later.
Yeah, are you just doing the 7 slashes?
Yeah, that's... I don't really think there's any other strategy choice I have. Unless I somehow magically spawn bomb arrows in my inventory. I could go to Isa again.
You could. Something tells me that wouldn't exactly be the fastest way to do that.
Probably not. Shoutouts to Glover's fighting the one Dark Knight we fight in this run. Dark Nut.
Dark Knight. It's Batman.
It's Batman, yeah. This is the one Batman in the whole run.
Now I want to call that Dark Knight Batman from now on. This is interesting.
Oh, did you mislight the
Yes,
torches?
and now I'm just doing the intended method. The little guy spreadsheet about to be updated. Probably. Ah, yes, I have 6 bombs. If you would like, I can give you one.
That would be very convenient.
I wish it were possible.
Yeah, the order that we attempt to light these torches in is not the intended order, but it's an order that is slightly faster and that you do just barely have enough time to do before the first torch that you light goes out.
Yeah, and it saves about half a second if done the first try. So it ends up being a nice little time save if you do it right. Jim going for the bombless backup here, which involves slashing the Denolfos, is it 6 times and then quick spin?
7
Or-
times, then quick spin.
7 times and then quick spin to get them to fall over and die. I don't know why I said fall over.
I mean, they do fall over. That is the
Yeah.
first step.
That is the first step there. Alright, I got the good RNG on the Arolfos. Oh, and you do too!
Oh,
Nice!
Hooray.
Alright, so we're both in the outside room of Hyrule Castle, which means that we are watching cutscenes, grabbing keys, and going up to Final Tower Climb. Is this race actually coming down to Zelda RNG? It can.
Yeah, it could. I mean, Glubbers is like a minute and a half ahead of me right now, so if Glubbers gets behind me because of Zelda RNG, that will be kind of surprising, but it is definitely possible.
If I keep up my current Zelda trend, or do that.
Or do that. That closes the gap slightly.
Yeah. If I keep up my current Zelda trend, my best since coming back to the game for Wolfdash, it's been a 9, so...
I remember my last race, I had a Zelda that looked like it was going to be a good 7, and then it became an 11.
Ah, I had that... Oh, TP time loss. I had that in a... not a race, but a run that was in prep for a race, where what I had was what looked like it was going to be a 7, and then it was a 12. So that was wonderful.
Gotta love that.
I love this
Shout
game
out to the
sometimes.
lag in the final staircase, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Take a single step forward. As we go past the other Batman, and, the other Batman, his name is, Damian Gray? Are you a DC person?
I would not say that I'm a superhero person in general.
Fair enough.
I am a person who has a half heart, though.
Yeah, but you're going into Zelda, you'll be fine. Zelda.
So yeah,
It's
Zelda
kind of
RNG has many forms. There is the
Yes, it
RNG
does.
of how long Zelda takes before she decides to attack you. There is the RNG of which attack she decides to do, the triangles being slower than the charge attacks. And there is the RNG of how many cycles it takes before you get the 3 energy balls. So,
Yep. Thank you, Zelda, for being multifaceted in RNG. Although right now, I appear to be on pace for a 7. They can show up in... The first attack can be a ball. After you get your first ball, there is a 1 attack delay, so then the best would be the third attack being a ball. Then there is a 3 attack delay before the final ball can show up, making 7 at minimum. Technically, infinite possible. I've gotten exclusively Doritos, and she decides to finally give me a lunge. Sorry, Triforce attacks. I'm so used to calling them Doritos.
we all know Zelda is famous for handing out Doritos in The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess.
True. Very true. Ah. Bad
I'm getting
RNG,
my first Dorito.
I got my 4th Dorito, and an 8 minimum cycle Zelda.
I just had my 4th cycle. This is my 5th cycle, which is a charge attack.
Ah, 9 at minimum. Thank you, Zelda.
This is my 6th cycle, which is also a charge attack.
Are you on pace for a 7?
I am still on pace for 7, and I am not getting 7, I am getting at least 8.
I got a 9. A very slow 9. Oh, and a glitched
Okay, looks like I'm getting 8, so I'm coming in hot on your heels. Get ready.
Oh boy. And we're in the final
Curl's
couple
mustache.
of fights. Curl's mustache, indeed.
Oh, I missed the ball and chain throw. That's lovely.
I did not miss the ball and chain. So my heels are a little bit further.
Yeah, missing the first ball and chain is not great, unfortunately.
And I didn't
It does
miss the
put
second
me
one
considerably
either.
behind now.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is a notable time loss. Generally, it is quite significant. And Beast Ganon done on my side. There are 2 fights left. First Horseback, and then the Dark Lord. I almost always forget Dark Lord. I can mess up Horseback. I do regularly lose 40 seconds to a minute on Horseback. Historically.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's an interesting direction, but it should be fine. Hopefully you don't get juked right here.
I don't know if he's going to juke me. He's not, okay.
Very nice.
Missed the spin, but very nice. Does this count as a casual race? This is a tournament race. We have just been having a very relaxed time of it. The 2 of us are still competing in Wolfdash 5. The winner here goes on to race twitch.tv/Sparkle, which, for either of us, whoever wins, will be done in person at GDQ, as all 3 of us are attending. So that'll be fun.
I got juked.
Oh no. So that can happen sometimes. Based on Ganondorf's patterns, getting juked just happens on occasion. But very nicely done. As long as I don't fail quick spins for a minute, which has happened.
It's okay, I believe in you. Specifically to not fail the quick spins, to be precise.
Thank you. I also believe in myself to not fail these quick spins specifically, because I didn't.
And GG's.
And theoretically, that ended the race time? Yes. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it did.
GG's. Good luck with your own quick spins.
Thank you.
This was a very silly race, but it was a good race nonetheless.
Yeah, no, I definitely think doing the commentary with the race was a fun experience.
It definitely was. It helps remove the general nerves that happen during it. I was kind of hoping that that would be the case, because you get to just joke around, have a fun time of it. GG, Jim.
So, Glebber's finishing with a 3-hour 59-second time, and me finishing with a 3-hour 1-minute and 42-second time. So, less than 1 minute apart from each other.
A very strong race from the both of us. We should see if the runners would like to come in for an interview real quick.
We should. We'll quickly message them on race time. Let's see if they want to jump in here.
You guys better interview yourselves, because I don't know anything about this game category.
All right, we have asked the runners if they would like to jump in for an interview. Oh, and here they are. Here are the runners.
Hello.
Wow.
Hello, gymnast86. How do you feel about your run?
Hello, Glubbers. I had a lot of fun during my run. I do think that I made some very silly mistakes, especially in the second half of the run. But overall, it was a good time. Because, yeah, I think for me, the only mistakes up until trying to enter Lakebed were failing Bit at the start once, and also not getting Gorge Void. But other than that, like, my first hour was fairly solid.
Yeah, you had a very solid first hour. That was a fantastic showing on that part. Now, that said, there were some points that maybe you despawned a rupee.
Yeah.
And that was certainly something. So, when attempting to back that up, there were a lot of things going through your mind, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You want to walk us through that a little bit?
Yes, I mean, I recently had a time where, like, that same rupee despawned for me, and I didn't actually get it. And like, I couldn't get it during... It wasn't during a race, but it was during, like, PB attempts. And I completely forgot about the rupee going back into the chest, which, like, you pointed out during the race was going to happen if I had tried to get the orange in the chest. So, like, when I previously had that happen, I didn't collect... Like, I just collected the orange rupee as normal, because I had space for it, and then collected the red rupee afterwards on fire, so... It was just kind of, unfortunately, me making a bunch of not optimal decisions while also forgetting some of the game mechanics that ultimately cost me a lot of time with that rupee. So...
Yeah, that is very fair. Now, this sort of thing can happen, you know, that the ball and chain can either hit the armor in quick succession and just completely prevent the spawning of the bubble, and similarly, a bad position or, like, angle when hitting it with the ball and chain can actually cause the bubble to spawn properly, but out of bounds. So these are things that just happen, and unfortunately it does just occasionally happen. It's not super controllable because the ways in which they happen are so niche and specific that they're not easily controlled for. So that is just a very unfortunate thing to have had happen.
Well, Glubbers, how do you feel about your run?
My run was an interesting run. I decided to not go for Stallard skip, which was a choice. When I decided that, I largely decided that because leading up to this race, I had been practicing Stallard skip on the daily. I had been making myself rep it 10 times prior to, like, just each day, prior to runs or regardless in practice. And when I realized that I failed the second attempt at Stallard skip, my brain just decided, no, this isn't working. So I just elected to not go for it there. That was a massive time loss. That was multiple minutes of lost time, and I believe that's where Jim caught up to me a bit because of that Moorfield death. He was a little bit behind at that point, but that basically evened the race out and made it a very even race for a lot of the rest of it, which largely just made for a fun experience seeing, occasionally one of us would lead the other one, and then we would catch up. We just traded back and forth. So all around, I think my favorite part of this race was just the whole race itself. Regardless of how the run quality actually was, it was very fun. And getting to do the commentary, I think that was unique and a very cool thing.
Yeah, I would definitely be down to do self-commentary for a race on ZSR again. Granted, obviously, most of the races that I do on ZSR end up being rando races, which that doesn't really work with, but I guess also that means I won't get to do this again, because now I'm out of Wolfdash.
Oh, true. Gotta wait for Wolfdash 6.
Yeah, Wolfdash 6 for when we'd find early Hyrule Castle, ?
Yep, that'll happen in 2028, I guess, or if we go off of the trend of when Wolfdash 4 was, and somehow, again, we will face each other in the week leading up to SGDQ, probably.
And somehow I will die on Moorfield again, even though you do not fight Moorfield if early Hyrule Castle is a thing.
You have to do the backup, where you do the Moorfield warp.
Yeah.
Alright, well, that's gonna be us. We should probably wrap it up a bit now that the race is over here, and we have our wonderful host who is able to close us out. Jim, do you have any closing words?
Other than just GG's on the win glubbers.
Yeah, thank you. GG's
yes,
on the race.
I'm a little sad that I went 0-2 in the tournament, but I'm also in 2 other tournaments right now, so I guess not having to juggle 3 is kind of nice. So
you're in 2 other tournaments, and you have a run at SGDQ on Friday.
This is true. Yeah.
I think that's fair. Well, good luck with the rest of your tournaments. You'll do great, and you'll also do great at SGDQ on Friday. So, I know someone who will be in the audience to watch that, and it's me, because I'm also going.
Heck yeah.
Alright, this is us signing off audibly. Goodbye, everybody.
We are now signing off. Goodbye.
Congrats, Glubbers, on your win. Good luck moving forward. Downstairs told me to let you guys know that there are multiple races coming up on the rest of the week, and tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, looks like there's 2. So we hope to see you back tomorrow. And have fun with the rest of your tournament, guys. Have a good night. And have fun with the rest of your tournament, guys. Have a good night.